Shields up, Ironbreakers. Welcome back to Granblue Fantasy Relink, and today we're once again going to be talking about Vane, and this is for two reasons. Number one, I actually learned some new information that I wasn't aware of at the time of posting the Vane guide, so I'd like to give a shout out to the user Rurikhan. He posted his own best Vane build, and one of the things that instantly jumped to my attention was the fact that he was running supplementary damage times 3, and in there he wrote, "It procs his sigil to trigger cooldown faster." I wasn't aware of this. This was also not the first time that I had seen people that play Vane use supplementary damage, because before I did the guide, I was scouring through YouTube trying to see what was the top damage number on the dummy, just to see how far off I was going to be from it, because I was building my Vane to be more tanky and just to see what was going to be the difference in terms of damage. And that user that had one of the best videos, I think he was hitting like 20 million or something like that, he was also running a bunch of supplementary damage. And at the time, I just thought, you know, you can hit the damage cap so easy with most characters that one of the ways that you can go beyond the damage cap is just put supplementary damage in there. And I just thought that that was the reason why that user was doing that. I was not aware of the fact that supplementary damage would also reduce Vane's cooldown due to the way that his mechanics work with his combo finisher and his signature sigil. So that was pretty cool. And then reason number two was that earlier today, I was actually able to pull a Vane Awakening sigil. Hero's Awakening. It was actually my third pull of the day, which I was like, bro, really? That's insane. I did not expect that at all. And I thought, you know what? Let's actually try out Cooldown Vane. Let's see how it works out. And it is absolutely insane. As you no doubt have been seeing by some of the footage that I've put in this video, where it's just me and my friends and we're testing out just how many mechanics and bosses we can skip by using Vane's shield. And it's actually pretty sweet, even though it's not the most useful thing, simply because at this point of progression, both me and my friends were so decked out with our characters, we dish out so much damage that I can barely recover my shield in time to use before the next mechanic. However, if you're not there yet, maybe this can help you out, and maybe this will also be useful, like I've mentioned previously, in the Lucilius fight. So anyways, let me just show you guys how fast we can actually get this stuff done, right? So I'm going to pop the shield right here. We're in training mode right now, and after that, we're going to go in and we're going to do just a 2 combo with the combo finisher, because that does the most number of hits whenever you do that. Now, let's just keep doing that and see how fast we can get the shield. Boom. And once again, the dummy is even floating all up in the air and stuff from getting hit by this attack. And this should pretty much do it. Watch. Boom. Shield is up again. Like, that is really, really fast. And that is without even using all of our other damage abilities. Because remember, on top of that, we have the whatever destruction ability that we have, that's like 1.8 million damage. And if you're reducing your cooldowns this fast, this skill is also going to be dishing out absolutely insane amounts of damage throughout a fight, because you're going to be able to have it up a lot more often. I'm also using the gap closer here, because the gap closer out of the other 2 skills that Vane has is the skill that deals the most damage, because you have like the one that deals stun damage, and then you have his gap closer. And this is just a joy to play because of how fast stuff gets back up. Like, look, we already have the gap closer again. This is insane how fast you get your stuff back up. And Rift Divider still deals a ton of damage. I still like Rift Divider. I know that Rurikhan doesn't like Rift Divider, but I think you can really use this in big openings like breaks and paralysis and slow and other moments, and I just love using that thing. But this just flows so well that I was just like, bro, I got to do another video. So I convinced my friends, and we went through like some of the more challenging fights. Naturally, we didn't really do it for Proto-Bahamut, not because Proto-Bahamut is challenging, but more so due to the fact that Proto-Bahamut doesn't have a lot of situations where you can actually skip phases by using his shield. I mean, there's a couple of situations whenever he's popping out for his breaths and whatnot, shield can be really useful there. Maybe you can do some tech where people are, you know, charging up their SBAs earlier, and you just shield them from the shelling of stuff that he throws with the orbs and whatnot. But fundamentally, we wanted to test out other fights that are maybe a little bit more challenging in some situations. And it was really cool to see the results because, you know, just how fast you can get the cooldowns back up. It just feels really nice to play Vane like this. However, one of the biggest problems with this, and this is something that's very frustrating for me, is that I do not have all of the best sigils to do this. So I'm having to sacrifice a lot of damage. So My build right now for Vane does not have the top damage, but naturally you can change things around to suit your own needs when it comes to Vane. So let's talk about what we got going here. So number one, I had to get rid of crab vestment returns, so we're not really going above 45,000 health, and for that, we just go ahead and we put the Mjolnir at plus 99, naturally. So we got Hero's Awakening, which, good luck getting that, because that's just Desire Sensor for you. You gotta go into Transmarvel, and best of luck. This is one of the reasons why I don't even use that many Hero's Awakening in my builds. Number one, I don't have them. Number two, they're extremely hard to get. But naturally, in order to be able to get this particular build to work, the most important trait is going to be Hero's Will. Now, I also really like Hero's Creed, which is one of the ones that I definitely didn't want to sacrifice because this gives you damage cut after landing a combo finisher, and you're consistently landing combo finishes with Vane, so you pretty much just have minus 20% damage taken all the friggin' time, which is awesome. But then on top of it, you know, you now have Hero's Will, and this is the more important one because whenever you land a combo finisher, your skill cooldowns get reduced by 3%. But the cool thing is, if you now notice on our Vane, whenever we hit the combo finisher... Wait, that's not the combo finisher. Right? There's multiple numbers because we have maximum supplementary damage. And what that does is 100% of the time, you are going to have supplementary damage. And when you do the 2 hits, because it hits multiple times, so his combo that is 2 times square, 2 times triangle, or 2 times primary attack and 2 times combo finisher, right? Whenever you do that one, it just hits so many times, and it procs all of that additional supplementary damage, and all of that's just going to give you giga cooldown reduction because of that signature sigil. And it is just so friggin' beautiful that you can... It just flows so nicely, and with Vane being one of my favorite characters, I'm like, bro, I gotta make another video. You know, I don't always know everything, like, with the super expertise. I played most of my end game with Eugen. Keep that in mind. Eugen and Percival, you know. Even though I really like Vane, I wanted stuff that dealt more damage at the start. So, anyways, continuing onwards, we naturally have War Elemental. Then we have Steel Nerves. Now, if you want to make this build more offensive, this is the first thing that you're going to cut, even though I just really like Steel Nerves as well as Guts, so I'm going to keep that. But, you know, it would be better if I was able to get Steel Nerves from an offensive sigil as opposed to having it here, or maybe even get Steel Nerves with a better offensive sigil like Stamina or something like that. That would have been good, but I don't have anything. I don't have Steel Nerves on anything that is offensive and that can improve my build, which sucks. So hopefully you have that. That would be really cool. Then on top of it, we have critical hit rate with stamina, which is actually really, really good. So we have our critical hit rate at 98%. Stamina is going to increase our damage significantly. Then we have 3 supplementary damages. And I know that you guys are going to say, Rurikhan, one of your supplementary damages is only at 12. Yeah, it doesn't matter because when you have your Terminus weapon, that is going to give you sigil boost. And, you know, that basically gives us 3 plus 42. 45 maximum damage, so I don't need to improve on that one because we're already capped on the skill, so I don't have to waste materials on it. Then we have our damage cap skills, which for me I have one with quick cooldown, which actually also suits this build really nicely. I have one with auto revive that I love having, and then I have one with uplift as well as one with drain. So we have everything that we could possibly want in terms of survivability. And then on my imbued traits, I went ahead and I put some critical hit rate, some quick cooldown, and a little bit of garrison. This is to make up for the fact that I've lost crab vestment returns, whatever. I wanted to have something a little bit more defensive on the weapon, but you don't need it. You really don't. It's just like I don't have that many great right stones, which kind of sucks. I've been very unlucky with that stuff, so I was like, you know, I'll just get this one for now, and it's whatever. Maybe I'll get a better one down the line. But this is what makes Vane like so much more fun to play. Like my previous build is still good. It's even tankier than this one, but you're not going to be able to use the shield as often, which is one of the things that I definitely want to do with Vane more and more, especially because I'm hoping to God that the developers give us something that is harder. Because right now, I can't even use this build properly, even though the build is fantastic, right? I can't even use this properly with my friends because we just dish out so much damage that we usually clear fights too fast for the effect of us having multiple shields to really come into play. Either we go through the phases too fast and I don't have the shield ready in time, or we just even skip phases where the shield would have been really cool, but we just skip the phase because we're dealing so much damage. Now, one of the things that is very important is if you end up using the same skill setup that I'm using with this build, which, by the way, if you guys are curious, we have Rift Divider, Energy Destruction, Rampart, and Heroic Beat. And again, the reason I use Heroic Beat instead of Arm Destruction is because Heroic Beat deals more damage. I haven't even tested if the cooldown comes back fast or not, but it's just more damage, so it's whatever. I just went with the damage. You know, you can also swap Rift Divider if you really want to. Get Arm Destruction instead. That makes the build easier to play. But I like Rift Divider. The thing about Rift Divider is if you are rushing to get your shield back up, you can't use it. You can only use it whenever there's an opening, like when you have a slow on the boss, a paralysis on the boss, a break on the boss. There's plenty of openings that you'll be able to use. But if you're struggling to get your shield back up, you don't want to be using this skill. You want to be using the 2-hit combo together with the other stuff that you have. So like you do the 2-hit combo, you make sure to land your link attacks as well as the follow-ups. You do your big energy destruction or whatever it's called, and you do the gap closer and finish that off. That is going to, you know, keep this up as well as the 2-hit combo rotation going. That's going to be what's going to reduce your stuff the fastest to get your shield back up. And then once you have the shield ready, then just use whatever you feel like it, and you can use this because especially after you put 3 supplementary damage in this skill is ridiculous for the amount of damage that it deals. So, you know, I love it, and I wanted to share this build with you guys. Let me know what you guys think about that. Once again, thank you for bringing this stuff up to my attention. And, yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe, bell notification icon, all that jazz, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay strong, stay safe, peace out.